Hello friends, it's me, Indiana Jones, and this is Crafting with Indiana Jones. Hello friends, it's me, Indiana Jones, and this is Crafting with Indiana Jones, although I won't be crafting. Oh, no. We're going to do a little bit of spring cleaning, yes, why not? We need to do a little spring cleaning so we can get some new crafts done for the rest of the season. And I won't be doing this alone. Oh, no. I wouldn't dare do such a thing. I have my friends Tammy of Crafty Peep and Robin of Robin's Buys and DIYs and a bunch of other friends that are here to inspire you to clean up your craft room and get it organized in the prettiest ways. So let's get started. When you get to your craft room for the very first time, don't mope, don't groan. Number one, be happy that you have a craft room. There are so many people out there who don't have a dedicated space for crafting. No. So, the most important thing to do when you get to your craft room is dance. Oh yes, let's just put on some music and dance. Why? Because I don't know about you, but I don't particularly like cleaning, like picking up and stuff like that. So, let's make it fun. Let's dance around, whether it's with your kids or your cats or whoever happens to be in the house and sadly sees you go through this process. So yes, this entire process I start with some dancing because I was ready to go, raring and ready to go. And you'll see by the end of the video, it kind of peters off because this was not a one-day thing. No. Don't do that to yourself. Take an hour here and there and enjoy your craft room cleanup process. Why do I say enjoy? Because you're going to come across things and you're going to say, oh, that's where I put that. Oh my gosh, I was looking for this. And yes, we know. So put those things aside and start imagining all the wonderful crafts that you're going to be able to do without spending extra money because you had everything right there at your fingertips. Well, maybe at your toe tips, but you know what I mean. So it's exciting to get started in cleaning your craft room. Nothing is as efficient as putting things on your head while you're cleaning. And so there I go, putting something on my head while I dance like a lunatic because I don't even know what I was listening to, but somehow I had to keep myself inspired to keep going and working in my craft room. You can see what a mess it is, but I know that we all have our little messes like this in our craft room, so it's nothing to be ashamed of, but it is something that we can work on and do it joyfully. Now don't mope, celebrate, because if you have a messy craft room, think of it this way, as a friend of mine always says, it's an embarrassment of riches when you have a wonderful stash of crafts, but it's an embarrassment if you can't find your items. So what happens is you spend more money because you're looking for the items that you thought you had, you can't find, but eventually you find, and then you've already bought a second one, so you're just like, oh, I'll just put this away for next year. No. Let's get organized at the start of the year so that you know exactly what you have, where it is, and how to use it. Not only that, you'll plan your crafts better. Good advice, especially if you're trying not to purchase more items this year. Now you can tell I have both of my little assistants there, Luna and Kuru, were with me every step of the way. Too much in the way sometimes, but I still enjoyed their company. It was really fun to have them, although every so often they would scare me by dropping things on the floor. Now, the next thing I was working on, of course, the floor, because it always helps to have a nice clean floor. I took this container, which I already had, I didn't want to spend extra money, and all I did was to make it match a little better than just plain black, I put this wonderful burlap fabric that I already had, and it looks great. Now, I bought most of my items at the Dollar Tree, so here are a few of the items that I purchased. In storage and baskets, go online and you can see a plethora of wonderful baskets that you can purchase. Now, if you purchase them online, of course you have to purchase them in bulk, but at least you can take a look at all the items. I use these, the size A storage boxes for my closet space. And these are great for any kind of small items that you have. So take a moment and check out what they have at Dollar Tree so that you can make the most of the space you have. Of course, being creative and crafty, I had to take advantage of what I already had in the house. So I had these collapsible bins that I had purchased a little while ago, and I decided to make them a little more creative and artsy for my craft space. And all I did was use a stencil, which I already had, some regular paint, and I just stenciled this cute little design with the crown and that beautiful wreath. I just thought it added a little more of something. And what's more is that I should have added a label at the bottom so I know exactly what is in or stashed away in that bin. But still, I think it turned out pretty nice. If you're inspired, why don't you like, share, and subscribe and continue inspiring me to bring you more beautiful, wonderful things to create. Now, let's continue cleaning. So, I'm having challenges with paint and ribbons. So I decided to swap where they are. I don't know if that makes sense, but you'll see when I get through this. So I had my paints on my door and my ribbons on the floor. Does that make sense? Yes, they were just in, a carton on the floor. I do have some ribbons in a setup, but it wasn't all working together. So now, and my paints were falling off of my paint thing on the wall. Am I making any sense? I think I got cleaning fatigue, but yes, I make absolute sense because what I'm doing is taking advantage of what I already have. If an item that you're using for storage is not working for something, maybe you can, reuse it for something else. In this little shelf, I had a bunch of stuff, but nothing was really organized and it wasn't being used properly. So now I'm going to use this for my paints, and I'm creating risers with my styrofoam, which I already had laying about in the house. So I'm creating these risers that will go in the shelves, so it'll allow me to pack more paints, and they fit perfectly. So here are all my wonderful colors. I'm trying to group them in colors so it'll be easier for me to find. And also, if I take a paint out, I'll remember to put it in because there will be a space there. Initially, I had used this for paints a while back when I first moved all my crafts into my room. But what happened was I was trying to store all of my paints. Now I'm just going to store the paints that I readily use on a daily basis, because that way I can use what I need on a daily basis, and any kind of special paints that I need, maybe not so often, I can find that in my garage. I have another storage container in my garage with my paints. Now I'm just cleaning up the rest of that mess underneath that shelf. Okay, I admit it wasn't easy. It took a few days. I did get frustrated and confused as to how to put all this stuff away. I realized I have to continue purging a little more. I do have many items that I don't readily use, and I just need to get rid of them. Don't save things that you are not using and you keep saving it because maybe. Just hand it over to someone else who might really need it right now. Wreath forms were another challenge. I actually had them hooked out the outside of my door, which was really a pain because every time I walked by the door, all the wreath forms would just fall down. So now I'm taking advantage of the space I have behind the door, as long as it doesn't impede the door from opening, and that should be fine. Now I was throwing all the Jenga blocks, instead of keeping that big Jenga block thing, throwing them into a container where I have other wooden pieces. I was about to throw away the Jenga block container and decided, and I found a cute hat, by the way, and I decided to use the Jenga container for a craft in the future. So I put it in a basket where I'm keeping my future projects. And now, amongst my stash, I found this beautiful transfer for my wall. I thought this was absolutely adorable. I don't know where it came from, who gave it to me, or how it ended up in my stash, but there it is. And I decided to take full advantage of it and use it to decorate my back wall. Now, I don't know if I'm going to keep that mantelpiece that I have there, but for now, I think it's a nice backdrop for when I film, and I can, actually showcase some of the items that I create on that little mantelpiece. So here I am just putting together that little wreath, and maybe I'll put one of my favorite sayings inside, and you'll see that in the future. I want to thank my two friends, Tammy of Crafty Peep and Robin of Robin's Buys and DIYs, for inviting me to co-host this wonderful challenge playlist. I hope you check out their channels and the rest of the channels that are featured in our playlist down below. As I always say, stay safe, be kind, God bless each and every one of you, and remember to live the adventure. And come back for more adventures with me by subscribing and ringing that bell down below. Thanks again, and I'll see you very soon. Bye!